Hi, Scott Orlin with CINEMA-Magazin. Michael Bay, the new film, 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. Michael, it's really fascinating that for the longest time the word Benghazi had a political connotation to it. And yet you have seemed now to put real faces, real people, and emotion to it and took it away from the politics.
Yeah, well, listen, we all thought we knew the story of Benghazi, and we all know about 15% of it. I watch all the news like you did, and it's an extraordinary story. It's a great heroic story. It's an inspirational story. And it's a rescue story. It's I had no idea that there were basically 35 American lives that were all at stake here. And this is an extraordinary story in that it deals with special operators, which are special forces, people know. They were retired. They worked for the CIA. They guarded CIA spies. They were a mile away. And they were all going home to their new families and new kids. And they got a call saying, if you don't get here, we're all going to bleep and die, okay? They, without a question, suited up, and they were going to go. And the movie is all about being selfless, and that's what these guys really show. And I've worked with a lot of special forces in my life. I was the very first director to ever work with a real SEAL team in the Rock way back when. And since then, I've worked with a lot of SEALs, became friends with a lot of them. And it's an extraordinary group of people because they're so humble. And but this is also a classic story. This is a nightmare story. And in a nightmare, you always want that hero that can come save you. You know?
You're also in a nightmare sometimes you want your mother to come soothe you, and I understand that your mother did not want you to.
No, she didn't want me to do this because she thought it would be very political, and I said, Mom, read the book. She read the book. She goes, I love the book, and because it's written from the guys who were on the ground. And what's interesting, because it's 13 hours, you actually really get to follow special forces the entire night, and you really see the ups and downs. And you know, a normal firefight in real war, they say, lasts 20 minutes. This kept going on and on and on and on, and it didn't just involve special operators. It involved female spies, everyone trying to figure out a way to come together and get the hell out of there, because they were trapped.
And let me ask you, as a filmmaker, I think this is, if memory serves correct, the third time I think you've told a real story. I think Pearl Harbor, Pain and Gain,
yeah.
Now here.
But Pain and Gain was a joke, okay.
But
okay.
still, there's a real story there.
Yeah.
How much dramatic license, as a filmmaker, can you have in these type of stories? I'm sure there's more elasticity in some than others.
Yeah, Pearl Harbor was, the attack was real, but remember, it's more of a made-up story. A guy who died in this movie, a SEAL, his SEAL buddy watched the movie, and he wrote a comment I saw on Facebook. He says, thank you, Michael Bay, for not Hollywoodizing this movie. He says, you made this so real, and I'm so proud that you did my friend justice in this. And you know, a bunch of military members have seen this movie, and like someone came out of a screening because that's one of the most real war movies I've ever seen. And I just came back from Iraq.
What surprised you about this incident that you didn't really know before, having gone through this?
It just literally, it's literally 6 guys against hundreds, and it's an inspirational story, you know, and that's what really surprised me. It was there's stories like this all over, but it's just laid out like a movie.
Could you do it?
Well, you know what? You wonder. You really wonder, and that's why I did this movie, to really explore, could you do it? And I think when we watch these movies, that's what we look at, you know. But this is people trying to survive, and it's you know, Oz. He's a Marine that. During the movie, he gets his arm basically blown by a shred. The true story is, when they took him to the plane, when they finally got out, they brought him a gurney, and he says, no, I'm going to walk out of here. I walked in, I'm going to walk out, all right? And this is like, he said, because he wasn't going to he was going to win. Do you know what I'm saying? And to survive, sometimes that's what you need. So, I don't know, there's a lot of good little messages in this, you know.
Congratulations, terrific film.
Thanks.
This is Scott Orlin.
Thank you.
It's like, but that's the arm scene.
Yeah, right?